Chris in Stratford. Chris, hello.
Hello, good evening, Robbie.
Yes.
I had an idea about the queuing. Well, I've been thinking about it for 2 days.
You've been thinking about it for 2 days?
Yeah, you know, you get people
you've been in a long queue
at bus stops.
Yes.
Well, I had an idea, but I didn't know where to say it because,
you weren't sure.
You know, I thought that people think that I might be a bit stupid coming out with it.
Right, but this is a way of getting rid of bus queues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, the idea is,
cancel the buses.
Yeah. You know, when you queue up and that at bus stops.
Yep.
I was thinking, you know, like phone cards that you put in the phone card machine.
Yes.
You could go like to the shops, buy a card, pay about £2 a week for it, go to the bus stop, put it in the machine, and ticket come out. Then you can't jump the queue.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. And if people didn't show the ticket when they got on the bus,
right?
Yeah.
But
they could be fined.
Oh, right, because that's going to be the problem, isn't it? That you might, say you've got from 1 to 20, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
It's going to cause an awful lot of trouble for the poor driver-conductor, isn't it? Because number 3 gets on in front of number 2, or, you know, number 8 gets on in front of number 5. Or are you saying you face an instant fine if you have jumped that system?
No, what I'm saying is, when you put the card in the machine, you just get one number.
Yes. But
on each card, there's four lines. There's 4-digit lines. So when you put the card in, one number comes in. So if you got to travel back and you put the card in the machine again, another number comes out, but it's the next number after the other person's queuing up in front of you.
Yeah.
So you're the next person behind that person.
Yeah, but what I mean is when you first get it, you know, you first got your card, which gives you the position in the queue. Yeah. How is the entry onto the bus policed by the driver-conductor? Say I'm number 2 and you're number 9, and you still try and get on the bus in front of me. What would happen?
Well, that person could be fined.
That's what I mean when I said there's instant fine. So it has to be policed, doesn't it, by the driver? Yeah. He has to say, look, you're number 9, number 2 hasn't got. But say number 2 decides not to get on that bus and goes home.
Well, if number 2 decides not to get on that bus and goes home,
does the rest of the queue have to go and look for him?
No, they could give that ticket to the other person.
Oh, I see.
If they wanted to. Right,
so he said
they could, when they got on the bus, they could explain to the bus conductor or whatever that someone else gave him a ticket and he could give it to the bus driver and give him his own number.
But what about then if 10 people have all gone home? Does the bus have to stay there until you're absolutely certain that the 10 aren't still around? Or does the bus just go off when there's nobody left at the bus stop?
Well, if the 10 people's gone home, and they've gone home and that, and there's another 5 people left at the bus stop, and they get on the bus, they could explain that the other 10 people that was queuing went home.
Well, if I was the driver, I'd send them round to their homes and say, I want a letter from each of the other 10 telling me that you didn't jump the queue. Because anybody could say that, couldn't they? Say again, I'm number 9 and you're number 2, and I say, well, number 2's gone home, and number 3's gone home, and number 4's gone home. And then you say, no, I haven't gone home, and I say, oh dear, I've made a terrible... The poor driver, Chris, can you imagine it?
Yeah.
It would be jolly difficult, but a marvellous idea to cause complete confusion. Very complicated and very hard work. But
but what you could do also is when you go in the shop and buy the card, you put your name and address of the back of the card. So if you decide to go home and you don't want the ticket at all, what I was thinking is that they could have another machine now to put the tickets in. Just chuck the tickets in. Then the bus conductor can check the numbers. And when he checks the numbers, right, all the people that go to the shop and that, writing their names and address on the back of the card. Also, the shopkeeper keeps the number of their card. So then he has their address if there's any questions.
Right. So, hang on a minute. So, if there's a question, does that mean the bus driver gets out of his bus, goes to the shop, and says, I have a query about this particular ticket?
No, I'm saying the bus conductor that goes round and collects the tickets and checks the machines, then they're not damaged or whatever, or vandalised. He goes round, checks the tickets, takes the tickets to the bus depot, yeah? All the people that go in the shops and sign their name and address on their card, and the shopkeeper has a copy of their name and address.
Right.
That goes on a small screen like a computer, and that goes to the bus depot around the country.
Oh, right. So you don't have to go to the shop. You know it's on computer. So what do? You have a two-way radio and you check with the depot and say, read the screen for me? Is that how you do it?
Well, you could do that as well, yeah, I suppose so. Could do that.
Well, there you go. Wonderful. Oh, dear. Fantastic. Well done, Chris. Dear listener, will you forgive me for just a second? Fabulous idea. And if you just joined us, inventors have a hard time. And Chris has come up with the answer to bus queues. So if you wondered about the computer terminal having numbers, that's what it was about. Because we've been talking about queuing. Chris, thank you very much indeed for your contribution to Robbie Vincent's Nightline. The reason I asked about queuing was because Dr. Peter Collins from Oxford University. I will be with you. Wonderful. Right, pull yourself together. Let's talk to Fred. Fred?
Yes?
Speak to me.
Fred from Surbiton.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I find it hard to follow that,
Tell us your story.
Sorry. My problem is that, big unsolved mystery for a while, I was driving my car back.
It's got nothing to do with bus queues.
No, I'll pass those. But I was driving my car back from the city and going through